Welcome back to the channel. This week, I have been testing the 2026 Subaru Outback. I've had it in the nicest trim available, which if you're from Canada, is called the Premier XT trim. So what does Subaru have to offer for its top dollar? Well, pretty much every single feature that you could ever want. I mean, no, it doesn't look as cool as the Wilderness, but I think this version of the Subaru Outback, first of all, is Subaru's best foot forward when it comes to the Outback in general, but second of all, is still kind of got that rugged nature with a little bit of luxury included. For 2026, Subaru have changed pretty much everything in terms of styling when it comes to the new Outback. We've got a new exterior and a new interior, and both of these changes feel like Subaru has actually been listening to its owners and other reviewers like myself, which is pretty refreshing for a change. So as usual, I'm going to show you the new design, both interior and exterior, and then we're going to take it on a POV drive. Let's get into it. So this 7th generation Subaru Outback is powered by a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder boxer engine, and it's capable of producing 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. Now, as for the transmission, they have what Subaru calls the high torque Lineartronic CVT, which is just basically a CVT, to me anyways. But it also has an 8-speed manual mode and paddle shifter, so it can kind of fake gears in a sense, but it's not something I really use that much. Towing capacity is right up to 3,500 pounds, and this version of the Outback has 8.7 inches of ground clearance. Overall, those numbers really don't bother me that much. I do think that, you know, the horsepower and torque numbers are decent. The only thing I would change is maybe that CVT. I would still always prefer a genuine automatic. All right, next we're going to take a look at the inside for our 2026 Subaru Outback. Let's start off with the back of the Subaru Outback. Let's open the door here. You can see I've got the nice colored interior, this really nice brown leather interior mixed with this nice black. All the materials in here are very nice. Again, this is the top trim, so that is to be expected, but very, very welcome. Not something I'd always expect to see out of Subaru, but super nice. Look at these seats. Really, really nice. Very, very comfortable to sit in. We'll do that in a second. I just love the headroom and stuff like that in here. You can see there's little cutouts in the roof there, and that way you can kind of fit your head in there. There's no sunroof back here, but honestly, that doesn't matter. Let's have a seat inside here. So I've got plenty of legroom. I'm sitting behind my driver profile. I'm 5'11", like I said, plenty of headroom. You got your own little sets of lights up there, as well as a USB-C A and C port and heated seats for, you know, this side behind the driver and the other side behind the passenger. The middle, of course, won't be heated. That really doesn't matter. Plenty of room here for my daughter's rear-facing car seat, which is awesome, so no worries there. Fits perfectly in there, nice and snug. She's nice and comfortable as well, so that's very important. And yeah, really nice place to spend time back here. But you know what, let's get up front, because there's even more changes for the front for the Outback, which I really enjoy. So hopping up front, you can see it's much the same. We do have 2 sets of memory seat settings and normal door controls right here. Seat controls are power adjusted, and you have that nice little thigh extender right there. I do, again, like the seats. Love the interior color. Mixes really nice with the black in here. But let's actually have a seat inside. All right, so once you're inside, you're greeted with this very nice Subaru steering wheel. I like the physical buttons here as well. Looks very, very good. So you've got some stuff here for your media control and stuff like that. And then you also have your cruise control with your X mode button, which is basically enabling the off-road mode inside of your Outback. So over on the left-hand side, though, not a lot of buttons. There's 2 buttons that are grayed out here, but you do have the illumination control and the trunk button, so that is an automatic tailgate button. Really nice. I love this brown stitching right here. And then we move on to our digital gauge cluster. So you can see there's a couple of different themes right here. Really, really nice. You can kind of switch through these. You can have the Google Maps in the middle, or not, actually it's the Apple Maps because I'm on CarPlay. And then you can also just have something more clean. I like the gauges, and you can also change what is inside of that gauge, which is pretty cool. Now, the design here is pretty good. I would have liked to see it maybe come forward or maybe like do something with this section right here, but honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Over onto our infotainment display, which is Apple CarPlay wirelessly connected, so not causing me a ton of problems when I'm filming. Obviously, this is going to be super laggy because I'm filming at the same time as trying to use it, so it's just going to interrupt there a little bit, but it won't do that when we go back to the main screen right here. No issues at all. It is nice and smooth. There's a couple of different settings that you can go through as well. It's just really fast, right? Because there's no more big iPad inside the Subaru. So I really like how simple it is, how responsive it all is, and just easy to use and understand. Like, it's just not complicated at all. And you also have a built-in navigation here as well. So really, really easy, simple to use and understand, and that's how it should be. We also have a digital rear view camera, very nice. I will say though, at nighttime, it's a little bit strange because it kind of goes black and white, but still in the daytime, perfectly fine. A little bit lower, we do have our dual zone automatic climate control, all physical buttons, no messing around again with an infotainment display. This is exactly how it should be, heated and ventilated seats up here. So that's very nice. You can see the thing will kind of change color there, but obviously the heated seats is very important. Heated steering button is of course going to be right over here. We also do have a wireless charging pad, USB-C and USB-A ports, which is very nice. And then we also have our nice little shifter here. Nothing complicated, very easy to understand. It does have a manual mode, and we do also have some paddle shifters. I have a really nice 360-degree camera. You can see you can kind of get the wide angle. So not really meant for off-roading, but some of these angles are quite good, especially this kind of like chase camera right here looks really good for that kind of thing. So glad to have that. Very satisfied with the look overall. You also have your traction control off, so that button is kind of right there. Your auto start stop and your AVH button is right there. Then you also have two cup holders and a little bit of storage in here, as well as more storage over here. Passenger seat much feels the same as the driver's seat. Very comfortable overall. They get a nice view, and the leg room is not obstructed by that rear facing car seat. There's still plenty of room on both sides of that vehicle. So really, really nice. I like the sunroof up here too, not too bad either. So Subaru has really, really improved it in my opinion. You know, we didn't need a big iPad. That wasn't something that the Subaru Outback ever needed. I don't even know if any of the Subaru models need that massive iPad. We have our physical buttons for the climate control. Everything's physical. Everything looks good. You know, there's tech where there should be and no tech where there shouldn't be. And they really, really have impressed me here with their interior. But I want to know what you think. What do you think of this new interior? What do you think of the little changes they've done here? And you know what? Let's take a look at it from the outside, because it obviously looks different from there too. All right, next up, we're taking a look at the exterior for our Subaru Outback. Looks really, really good. You'll have to excuse the mess of it. If I washed it 15 minutes ago and then brought it here, you wouldn't believe me. The roads are disgusting. But the good news is that the Subaru Outback, and just any Subaru in general, actually looks pretty good when it's dirty. So this is what it looks like when you actually use it and you actually, you know, drive it all week, which is exactly what I've done. So let's start with the front end. I really like the boxy shape overall of the vehicle, especially in the front end. It just looks way better in my opinion. You got nice fog lights down there. You also have really nice daytime running LEDs, as well as that main bulb right there. We also do have a front facing camera because this is the top trim, so I have some more, you know, luxury features than usual. It doesn't have that big exaggerated like plastic fender of a bumper that the Wilderness has, and honestly I don't mind it. I think this still looks rugged, but not necessarily like super off-road ready, which I'm completely fine with. Next, we move over to the side profile, where you can see we do have the plastic fenders around the rims. These are some special rims that come on the Premier trim. They look really, really nice. You know, you'll notice that this one is going to be slightly lower than the Wilderness trim version, which again, I'm okay with. I don't think for at least Quebec driving anyways, you need that high of a ride height, at least not most of the time. But I do really like these plastic fenders. They look good. They add to the ruggedness. Obviously, they're going to show their dirt and stuff like that. There's a little actual vent right here as well, which is nice. There's power folding mirrors on the side there. I love those roof rails. You can just see how big it is. It doesn't have that hatchback curve anymore. It's more of just like a straight up SUV look, which honestly I prefer. Moving on to the back, we have the nice light bar here, the big logo Subaru Outback, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it says Subaru right there. The only thing I'll complain about is that there's no visible exhaust. Of course it is right there, but what I'm talking about is I want to see it come out here, especially on the top trim. Maybe just make it a little bit more sporty. And I also wish that this guy was tucked up under here, because it gets a lot of snow and ice caked onto that when you're driving. Of course, I do have a digital rear view mirror camera, which does help that quite a bit, but still, if it ever fails or I don't have to use it, then that can't fail either. So last but not least though, let's take a look inside the trunk. Let's open this thing up here, plenty of trunk room. This is not a third row. You can't configure it as a third row, so you just get an unbelievable amount of space. You get a nice little pocket here as well. You can fold the back seats down as you need to, and then you also have this nice little cargo cover, or at least my tester this week does, which is also really nice. You can remove it nice and easy, or you can use these as grocery hooks, whatever you need. So that's going to do it for my thoughts for the Subaru Outback exterior design. I find this changes in 2026 very welcome, very, very nice. I am such a fan of this new look. This is the best looking Outback I think you could buy. But with that being said, let me strap that GoPro to my forehead. Let's get it on the road. All right, on the road now, 2026 Subaru Outback Premier. A really, really good time this week driving this thing around. Really, really easy, no issues whatsoever. It just handles business. Now, I didn't get that much snow, or not as much as we usually do, but I mean, I did get a little bit. Right now the sun's out, so the snow is kind of starting to, the snow on the road anyways, is starting to melt. Obviously not the snow, around us, but still, it's quite good, this all-wheel drive system. The Symmetrical All-Wheel Drive, literally just takes care of business. I mean, I like it so much. The way that, it allows for some sliding, but it doesn't overcorrect, and it's not snappy. It's just smooth. It feels like the all-wheel drive is in control the entire time. It's almost guiding the slide and making it, sort of like a controlled experience versus something that's like, oh my goodness, we're out of control, snap back in. Now, the 2026 Subaru Outback does have a decent amount of power. It has a Subaru Boxer engine, and it has 260 horsepower. So let's stop right here and give it some beams. Here we go. You know what? It's definitely not, fast enough to surprise you or anything like that, but it definitely gets up to speed, no problem. There's obviously not much of an exhaust noise, and there's no pumped-in engine noises or anything like that. It's just pretty simple, but it effectively gets the job done, whether you're on dry roads or winter roads. I think either one is going to be fine. So I don't think engine power or performance is seriously a big issue here. I think it's all, relatively simple. It's really why you see so many Subarus, especially around places that look like mine, is that all-wheel drive system just shines through. It is so, so good. I can't really show you live because we're right at the end of my test week, and the roads are dry now, and I just didn't have enough time or really enough snow to show you, but I was able to kind of slide it around a little bit, and yeah, it just works so well. Overall ride quality is good as well. There's some bigger bumps obviously on the road that you are going to feel. It doesn't, phase out all of them, but for the most part, you could do a long road trip in here and be comfortable. You've got a whole bunch of eyesight safety features like lane departure, lane keep assist. It's got the cruise control, the automatic cruise control as well. So you're really going to be fine to do all of your road trips and different things like that with really no issue at all. I mean, it's just going to be so simple and easy. Handling is good. I feel like the steering is on the tighter side, but that's still fine for me. You do have an X mode, which will kind of enable the all-wheel drive mode, so that's pretty much the only drive mode that you have. Other than that, the vehicle just kind of does what it does, and I'm honestly completely fine with that. There's no issue there. I really have no complaints. Visibility is good too, got nice view mirrors, and I also have this little pocket of a window here so I can kind of look out the side as I'm turning should I ever need to. Digital rear view camera, which is always nice, but you can turn it off really fast and really simply, so easy there too. Nice view out of the passenger window as well, and blind spot is not an issue either, even with a rear-facing car seat. So I think you'll have a good time with it, and it also has a 360-degree camera on board, so navigating this thing in tight spaces is really not going to be an issue for you. Now, I do also have paddle shifters here. Honestly, haven't used them once this week, probably won't use them at all if I ever was to own this thing. It's just, it's a CVT that kind of can fake gears, I guess, or it's going to try to, but honestly, unless you're off-roading and you need to select specific gears, well, then obviously that makes sense. But for what I'm using it for, on-road, point A to point B, and some serious winter driving when it falls, yeah, I really don't see a need for the the paddle shifters, for myself anyways. But they are there in case you are somebody who does enjoy using those. There's no heads-up display in here or anything like that, but honestly, I really don't mind it. I don't think the package needs it or requires it at all. I think the biggest thing when you're driving this year is that there's no more massive iPad. So there's no like distracting, screwing around with a system that, works half the time or is laggy. Like you just, you have it right here and it just works. It's just super, super simple, absolutely no issues. And I really just enjoy my time with it. Like, I'm not like messing around trying to figure out, okay, climate control, I want this on, I want this setting on, I want this setting on. Like I just click down here, bang, I'm done. So there's nothing distracting about it. So overall, I'm extremely happy with the way that the new Subaru Outback drives, handles, and looks. It just is simple, takes care of business, and I'm finding it extremely hard to figure out something to complain about here because they have really gotten themselves a good package, and you are going to see these probably all over the road at some point. Maybe not this year because, just vehicles are just expensive, and not everybody has that much money for a brand new vehicle, but eventually you will see these everywhere, and for good reason. They absolutely take care of business. They're pretty fun to drive, and they're actually decently safe in the winter. So we can come into this parking lot just to kind of show you. I've got all the assists on, right? But I'll kind of do this, and it's controlling me super well. Look how good the turning radius is on that. Like, it's not snapping me around or anything. Like, it is just taking care of business, and that is what I love. So with that being said, let's throw it to the outro. So there you have it. There is my total thoughts on the Subaru Outback for 2026. I think having it in the top trim kind of helps, but honestly, the frame and the body and some of the interior stuff stays throughout the lower trims as well. I seriously think that all trims Subaru have listened to its old owners, and this is a step in the right direction. I love the new design as well as the new interior. Taking away that massive iPad-looking infotainment display was an absolute welcome thing. The screen is still massive inside, don't get me wrong, but there's no more iPad. And that, to me, is super important. And you actually have physical buttons for your climate control. Who knew that would be life-changing? I think we all did. But anyways, I've absolutely loved my time with this thing. I do think that it is still the winter warrior that it always has been. It just looks the best it ever has. But of course, and as always, I really want to know what you think. Are there any of you out there buying this? And if you are you buying the Wilderness trim, or are you coming all the way up to the top trim? I really want to know why you're buying the Subaru Outback in general and what trim you've gone with. If I've missed absolutely anything, feel free to leave it down in the comments. And if you have any questions relating to the Outback, please do let me know. I have a direct link to Subaru. I can ask tough questions should I need to, or I can answer them myself. Either way, I want to hear from you in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, or if you've made it this far into the outro. That's rare. So with that being said, I'll see you the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.